Okay, hello guys. Let's wait a little bit. Or no need to wait. So let's start. Hello everyone. My name is Mohamed Taha, and we are continuing our basic Python lessons. And today, this is our second lesson. So let's start. Let's talk about what we learned in our last class. In our last lesson, we talked about what Python is and why it is so popular. We also learned what an IDE is, and we compared some of them, and we used Visual Studio Code to write our very first line of code, print hello world. This was our first step into the programming languages. So today we are going to learn more about how Python really works, and we're gonna look a little bit closer at the print function and learn what commands are, and we're gonna learn variables and data types in this lesson, and at the end of this lesson we will be able to make small Python programs that remember and show information at the screen. So let's check everything again. Okay, everything is okay and done. So let's uh, create a folder again. Okay, let's name it Python. Okay, and let's create our file. And we just create it. And okay, let's start with remembering what we write. We wrote hello world, and we debug it, and it shows us the hello world result. Okay, so let's continue with how Python reads code. Before we write the new code, so let's learn this. When we run a Python file, the computer reads our code from top to the bottom, line by line. It doesn't jump around unless we say it. Each line is a comment, something comments. Each line is a comment, something the computer must do. If there is an error in one line, Python will stop and show a message. And that's why it's important to write our code carefully and keep it clear. And so we use spaces, new lines, and comments to make it easy to read. So Python programmers says good code should read like an English. Professional Python programmer says this. So remember, clarity is more important than writing too fast. So because we're going to get in more complex, and we're going to work at complex projects in our future. So keeping it clear, keeping our codes clear is so important thing. Uh, so okay, let's let's learn more about print function. Okay, we learned the um, string data type. As you see, the hello world is a string data type, and it means a series of characters. And as you see, it's a series of characters So there is another data types that we can use. So we can use this print function with other data types. Uh, so there is a data type called integer. Integer means a whole number. So you can write um, numbers here. As you see, this is an integer data type, and also there is a data type called float, and that's a decimal number. Like it's a decimal number, so you can write it 2, and that called float data type. And there's Boolean data type that showing true or false things. So you can write print, can print things like this. As you see, this is um a string data type. As you see, it's a text. So as we said, it's a series of characters. It's an integer string data type, as I said. So let's write um, string here. I use hashtag to use that. I'm gonna explain what it is. So this was integer, that means a whole number, and this is means float. Uh, okay, let's continue. So we can print more than one thing by separating them with commas. So let's write it. I can write print, and what I can add single question mark, quotation mark, or as you see, 1 second, I can use single question mark or second question mark. I can write my name is, and I can use commas as I said to separate the thing, and I can write Taha, as you see. Let's run it, and as you see, it says my name is Taha. And also I can add other data types inside this. So let's write I am years old, 16 years old. And as you see, it says I am 16 years old. So Python automatically adds a space between each part when we use commas. This makes it easier to combine text and numbers in one line. And also you can also write you can even write blank lines in with print functions. With just doing this, as you see, it's blank line. So I need to do this. Okay. So prints nothing, but just moves to a new line, like press and enter in this thing. So let's learn using new line. Let's learn how to get down and create a new line with just one print function. So let's delete this, and we need to write hello and back slash and other word that we're going to use, and this is gonna write a new line, and it's gonna write there. Okay, we can also show quotation marks inside this, and the back slash here tells Python that the code is part of the text and not the end of it. So these small tricks help make our output look clean and professional. Okay. So, as I said, I use comments in here, as you see, and it didn't write string, integer, or float in the result in our terminal, as you see, because these are called comments in Python, and comments are not read by the Python while Python running our code. It's just seeing these codes and it's not see the comments in here. Okay, so comments are useful for explaining what our code do, and it's remember what each part is for. We can add to remember what we do there. Okay, so let's come to the variables. The main topic of our lesson. A variable is like a box that stores information in the computer's memory. You give each box a name, and you can put a value inside it. So later you can open the box, change what's inside, or show it on the screen. So let's create a new variable. Let's call it name. And this is a variable, so it needs to equal some value, and so we need to use equal symbol, and we need to write a data type here. So let's start with the string data type. So we need to open a quotation mark, and let's write Taha, and let's create a new folder, a new variable, and let's call it age. We need let's do this as a integer data type, so we can write a number here. Let's write 16. So this means we have a variable called name, and this stores the text Taha because it's a string type data type, and this is a variable called age, and this stores the number 16, and this is the integer data type, as I said. So we can print things easily with variables. So we just need to write the variable name after the print function. So when we run it, as you see, it writes what's inside of the variable. As we said, we can think the variable as a box. The Python opens the box and looks at it, and as you see, it's a string called Taha, and it's a integer data type called as a 16. So it writes them. Hope you understand it. And so variables make programs powerful because they help the computer remember information. Without the variables, the computer could only print fixed text, so it's so important. So we can use variables inside the text to make our print messages smarter. So let's do that. Let's print, let's write print function and open our parentheses, and we're gonna add quotation mark, and let's write my name is, and we can use commas here again. So we're going to write we're not going to write our name as a string data type. We're going to give our variable here. So it's gonna open a box as we said, and it's gonna look at it and edit. So we can write name. Let's open another quotation mark, and I am. Let's write and I am, and we're gonna add another commas. We're going to write the age variable here, and we're gonna add quotation mark again, and we're gonna write years old. So let's run this thing, and as you see, my name is Taha and I'm 16 years old. It's written. In this code, Python automatically adds spaces between each part. As you see, we don't need to add a space with, we don't need to press space key in our keyboard. But there's an even cleaner way to do it, called an f string, and it lets us write variables directly inside the text. So let's try that. So we're going to write f here. As I said, this string lets us write variables directly inside our text. So we're going to write my name is, and we don't need to use commas right here, right now, because we use f string. And with this f string, we need to use parentheses, but it's parentheses. We need to add like this, as you see. So when we run it, okay. There's something wrong with it. I'm looking it. So we didn't remove the quotation marks. We just need to add in the starting of the text and the ending of the text. So when we run it, as you see, my name is Dan, I'm 16 years old. It's written. So Python is the f string, as we said, it lets us write variables directly inside our text. And so in this parentheses will replace the Python replace our this name variable in the parentheses with the actual value inside the variable. So we don't need to use commas and other things here. So it's more usable thing. So that's why I show it. So, and let's learn naming rules for variables. So there are a few important rules for variables. First, variable names cannot start with a number. As you see, we cannot write to name here. It's gonna give an error, as you see, syntax error. And the second rule is we can use letters, numbers, and underscores. The second rule is the space is not allowed in the variable names, so we can write name of the man. So we need to use the what's underscores. We need to use underscores while we're creating our variables. And so if we change this to name of the man, it will work as you see. So, and variable names are case sensitive. So name and name are two different variables. And we usually write names in lowercase with underscores. Professionals using like this, using underscores while creating a variable. So, okay. And the good naming helps us understand what each variable does. And so try to choose, okay. So we can try to choose names that make sense or not random one like uh, another variables. So let's make a mini example what we learned today. So okay, so let's create a variable called first name. We use underscore as you see. We need to use equal symbol and we need to add quotation mark because it's a string data type. Okay, so we're going to write we're going to create a variable called last name and uh, we're going to call it um, Taha, and let's create a variable called full name, and let's use it use other variables that we just created to add into this variable. So we're going to write first name, we're going to write plus, and we need to add quotation mark with space to uh, make space between the first and the last name. So we need to add another plus here, and we're going to write last name here. So we're going to write print hello plus full name. Okay, so let's run it. As you see, it's written hello bro Taha. Okay, so let's continue. And also, as I said, we give a string data type into our variable. So you can check it from the Python. If you want to check it, you need to write print function, and you need to write another function here called type. This is showing what type of what data type is uh, a value variable. So let's write first name here. So we're going to learn the data type of the first name. So let's open it. And as you see, it says string data type. Okay, so let's make this a comment. And let's continue our code. So we're going to create an a variable called age. We're going to give 16. Okay, and we're going to print your age. Before doing that, we need to add quotation mark, as I said. We're going to write your age is, and going to write string because we're going to make it string because it's an integer data type. So we need to change it to the string because it's a text. So okay, as you see, it says your age is 16. We change it to string because the age variable is um the data type of the variable age is an integer. So let's take a look at it. We need to write age to take a look at the type, and as you see, it says integer. So that's why we changed the integer to the string. So let's do this again and continue. So let's use float data type. Let's add height. Okay, let's make our height 170.5. So this is an decimal number. So it's gonna be the data type is gonna be a float. So we're going to check it from the type function after we finish our code. So let's write print. Let's open quotation mark. Let's write your height is, and I did it wrong, as your height is, we need to add space here, and we're going to make it change the type string because it's text, as we said, height, and we're going to write centimeter with adding quotation mark. So it's going to write, hello bro Taha, your age is 16, your height is 117 70.5 centimeters. Okay, so let's check our height variable data type. So we need to write height, and let's look at it. As you see, it's a float data type because it's a decimal number. So let's check this bro Taha is a human or not with Boolean data type. So let's create a variable called human, and let's make it true because I'm a human. So we need to print it again as we do in the others. So let's ask, are you human? And let's make the program says he's a human. So we need to change the human variables data type to string, as I said, as we do in the uh, others. So we need to write human here, and okay, and it's done. So it's gonna write, are you human? True. So let's check the human variables data type, and as you see, it's gonna write boolean. So this is finished here. So let's recap what we learned in this lesson. We learned how Python reads code line by line. We explored how print function can show text, numbers, and new lines. We learned to use comments as we do like this. This is a comment, and to make our code clear, we created and used variables to store and show information. We combined variables and text using f strings, and we learned the data types in the Python. As you see, the integer, the string, the float, and the Boolean data types. And in the next lesson, we'll take one step further. We're going to learn Python uh, we're going to learn an if and else uh, functions. So, see you in the next lesson, guys. See you.